Citizen by Claudia Rankin highlights the problem of racism and prejudice towards African Americans throughout American history. Racial stereotyping and discrimination is illustrated throughout the book, with real life situations that actually occurred. On page 50 and 51 of this book, Rankin describes two situations, summarized by the quotes, I do not always feel colored, and I feel most colored when thrown against a sharp white background. Many of the images in the book relate in some way with a piece of the text in the book. Rankin does a great job of letting us decide how we want to interpret the images with the text, by not being too specific and leaving out details. On page 50 of the text, we have a situation in which a black female is about to enter an all white meeting room. Before she even goes in, she hears two coworkers stereotyping the way black people speak by saying, being around black people is like watching a foreign film without translation. This situation relates perfectly with the image on page 54, which states, I feel most colored when I am thrown against a sharp white background. This is actually a situation in which many minorities like myself are faced with nearly every day. Even then, we can still get discriminated against by others just because of the color of our skin. In the article Racism in the Workplace, written by Aaron Bernstein and Michael Brandt, they state companies have an even greater desire to avoid bad publicity. Many suits end when employers settle. They routinely buy employees' silence with extra damage award money. This goes to show the extreme companies will go through just to keep themselves clear of wrongdoing on their part. Minority employees fear reporting such incidents because of the consequences that could follow, such as reduced hours or harassment. By putting a dollar amount on the feelings of others, society will never escape its racist culture. The woman should have stood up to her employees and filed a complaint without fearing any type of punishment for doing so. On page 51, we have our next racial situation. There is a white real estate agent that cannot fathom to show an interested African American homebuyer a house. The showing does occur, but the African American woman is with a friend. Instead of spending time selling the house to the African American woman, the real estate agent spends most of the time saying she feels most comfortable with the friend that came along. From the real estate agent's behavior to the black woman's friend, we can infer the friend is white as well. The fact that there was a friend within the showing really made it easier for both the real estate agent and the African American woman. With the friend, the African American woman would not have seen the house, and the real estate agent would not have made the meeting. The quote, I do not always feel colored is very relevant to this situation. With the company of her friend, regardless of race, the black woman did not feel like she stuck out. This helped the one on one tension of meeting with each other. This situation would have been completely different if the buyer was white. There is a clear prejudice occurring here which is unfair to the African American homebuyer. In both situations, ranking forces us to make our own assumptions about what races each characters are. This is a good thing to do because it forces us to generalize people as minorities, which shows the abuse of power that is used with racism. America has made progress with regards to equality. Despite all these accomplishments, Rankin illustrates to us that there is still more work we can do to have a more equal and accepting America.